Good morning, everyone. As I say, welcome to Heads and Dovetails with myself, Jill Harvey Bush, and the lovely Jamie Hubbard.
Good
So,
morning.
good morning, as we record this in the morning. Now here we go again. We were going to have our guest on today, but yet again, things have got in the way and we had to change things around. And really, that was because of what's going on with you. And I think that
Yeah,
leads to the weather. Anyway, Jamie, how are you and what's been going
I'm
on?
I'm good. Well, the weather, it's we're not used to it. But it's got to it's hot. It's so hot now, isn't it, that it's affecting people's health. And when it gets to that point, you have to make some changes and things. So because they said that the hottest time of the week was going to be Thursday afternoon, I
Yeah.
thought about my elderly people that I come on a Thursday
Okay.
afternoon, and they're all elderly. They're all pensioners, and I just said, look, is there another time you can do? And the backwards and forwards, you know what this is like for
Yes.
emails. Well, this is trying to again touchy subject. Well, not really. This is what it's like though. I've got four people. There's me
Yeah.
and three students trying to align diaries and quickly. But some people reply within seconds, and then other people won't reply for 4 hours, and then they say no, and it's just like, oh, we had all of that. Anyhow, I've got the guys this morning, 9:30, 10 o'clock start. So I need to leave here for 9:30. And but the weird side of it is the weather has made me, Jill, I don't know what's happened to me. The weather has made me get on with all those jobs. You know, those list of jobs that's at the bottom of the list
Yeah.
you never get done. I've got a shirt here that was, down the side at the bottom of a shirt, it has like a little split. It comes up
Yes.
about 2 inches,
Yeah.
and they put a stitch across it. It's a shirt
Yes.
to be worn
An
over,
overshirt. It's called an
yes,
overshirt.
trousers, yes.
Yes.
And the fabric had split there, and it's been on my sewing list for probably. I used to take it to my mom's in Pembrokeshire. I bet it's been on my sewing list of jobs to do for 15 years, 10 years, but it's bottom of the list. And I just found myself sitting outside in the shade under the trees sewing. I've sewn all sorts of things. I've done all these little jobs where it's not a lot of energy, it's
Yeah.
minimum energy, uh, quite a bit of focus, which is good, and focusing on just neatly doing these jobs, ticking them off. So, productivity wise,
You've got lots done.
I've got lots done, but not on the things I should be doing. But the feel good is great because I mean, I've overcoat, a big overcoat I've got that's needed washing for a while. I thought, hang on, if this is going to be really hot weather,
Yep.
perfect. I'll
Yep.
wash that coat. I'll give it a scrub on the outside. I washed it inside out. I then washed it outside in, and I did all of that, and it dried within 12 hours.
Yeah,
So
I've done the same. It's like all the
perfect.
loose covers, all the all the seat covers on the sofas have all come off. All the backs, the arm covers, all been done. I've done the the under mattress, or the mattress topper. That's
Yeah,
been washed. That's been dried and done, and back on the beds, and that's when you kind of go, oh yes, it's hot weather. It's one of those jobs you
just
think. I'm going to dry it outside and I'll have to wait. And then you kind of go, and if you're not careful, you miss it and then think, damn, I knew I was going to do something and I forgot.
yeah.
But I remembered. So, yeah, all the sofas were stripped and all been washed and all back on, and great.
It's good, isn't it? It's turning this sort of situation into an opportunity.
Yes. But we have to be, as you say, aware that it can affect people's health. People do forget to drink.
I
As
know.
much as Clive hates me saying, the age that he is, will you please have a drink? Will you please have a drink? But the weather always amazes me when it is hot because people do things that are actually, they think are right to keep their house cool, but is actually wrong. So people will open all the windows
Yeah,
rather than keep them closed. Open them first thing. Like,
yeah,
I was up at what, 5 o'clock or something this morning, lovely and cool outside, much cooler outside than in. So I opened all the doors, got them all opened, all the cold air came in, as soon as it's like now, actually, as soon as it equalizes, if you like, the outside, it doesn't feel any cooler outside.
Yes,
I shut all the doors. I've drawn the curtains across the sunny windows, and we've shut the wind, and shut all the windows. People say, "But the house is so hot." No, you're letting the hot air in
yes,
by
yes.
opening all the windows and
And
opening
then
the doors.
and then with all this insulation, we're trapping it in.
Yes, we're lucky. Our bungalow is lovely and cool. Haven't even got a fan out yet. Still have the summer, admittedly, the summer quilt on the bed. But being a bungalow, of course, we're single story, so we don't have the problem of heat rising. We're insulated, to within an inch of our life in the roof, which means it doesn't let the heat in via the
In. Yeah.
roof.
Yeah.
And the bungalow stays nice and cool. But as I said, Jackson's in a second floor flat. So I said to him, when you go out, but he's got Velux windows in the bathroom and the ensuite. And I
Okay.
said, he knows heat rises because he said, as soon as I go second floor to the first floor to the ground floor in the hallway, so I feel it gets cooler. And I said to him, open your Velux windows because that way the heat rises, so it will go on out.
It could go out. Yeah.
Yeah, in Weybridge, the other trick was opening the attic hatch. So we had
Yeah.
two little attic hatches, and at night we would open those and let the heat go. But it's amazing how many people look at me and go, "What do you mean? Close all the windows and doors?" Well, if you've let the cool air in, don't let the hot air come in behind it. So, and the other trick, of course, is the car. If we've got a little button. I mean, we haven't got a fancy car, it's an Astra, but you push it and it means it circulates the air within the car. So when you've got the air conditioning on, push the button that circulates the air because it's already cool. So it's not having to work so hard. And people look at me and go, "Oh, I'd never thought of that."
My old cars have had that button, but this one hasn't got it. This one hasn't got
Ah,
it. I think it just it has got climate control, so you set it to sort of whatever temperature it is.
mm.
It must do it, but it hasn't got a button to do it.
Oh, well, this is, we've got the same, but it actually means it circulates. So,
Yes.
for example, if
Yeah.
you're following a dirty lorry, or van or kicking out muck, you can push that button and it means you're just circulating in effect what's in the car. Talking of the hot weather, we had friends over last night, and I know this is going to be relevant to our guest when we finally get round to recording. They've got they've got an EV car, and they've got two dogs. And halfway through, she said, "Oh, we better go because we need to." And I said, "What? The dog's in the car?" Thinking, "Oh my God, they'll be sweltering." And she said, "Oh, it's all right. Don't worry. We've got the pet temperature on." Pardon? And she said, "No, no, when you stop the car, we can turn on the air conditioning, put it to pet, and it keeps the temperature at 18 degrees." I said, "But what do people think when they see two dogs in a car, in a hot car?" She said, "No, no, look." And they have this big screen. Clive was joking, saying, "Oh, what are you going to be watching on that on your way home?" This big screen that flips up. And she said, "No, there's a notice look that says on there, if anybody looks in the car, it says pet temperature. Please don't worry, I'm lovely and cool. My temperature is." And you
Well,
just go, "Okay." And jokingly, Clive said, "Oh, what you're going to be watching?" And she said, "Oh, I often sit and watch Netflix." "What?" She said, "No, we can get Netflix on it. So when the car's charging, if I'm stopped somewhere, I'll just sit and watch some Netflix." And I'm like, this is a problem with, I said, "That's why I don't want an EV car, because in the middle of a journey, I don't want to be sat waiting 40 minutes." But anyway, that's beside the point. We'll be talking about that at some other point. But yes, the British weather. So, I mean, not everywhere's hot. Scotland's, not hot. We're on
no.
the edge, I think, of the red
Are you?
warning.
I think we're
Yes.
on the top edge of it.
Yeah, we're on that bottom edge of the southwest. I think Somerset has had
But
it worse.
I have been naughty, Jill. I've got a confession.
Jamie.
There's an air conditioning unit in my workshop,
Ooh,
and I I have not used it in 13 years, 12 years. We had a
right.
hot summer back in 2013, I think it was,
Right.
and I'd got um, I'd got a load of jobs to do for people for work back then, and I put this air conditioning unit on, and it was on for 3 days, not solid, but three, over a
Mm.
period of 3 days. While I was there, and they turned it off, obviously. And my electric bill at the end of that month was £30 dearer. So it was
Oh,
£10 a day.
£10 a day, which
Yeah.
for being comfortable and, you know.
Yeah. So I was this is another reason my day to day is different, because one person who just said, I really can't come on such and such a night. And I said, well, look, I now know I'm in Friday morning. Do you want to tag along Friday morning? Well, on that Thursday night, on Wednesday night, I said, you know what? I'll just see if the aircon still works. So I switched it on the fuse board, and I went up to the controls upstairs and messed with it a bit and thought, it's not going to work. It hasn't had a service. It's not going to. If it works, it's great. Well, it worked,
Oh, fabulous.
and
I'd be joining your workshop just for the
can you
aircon.
imagine? Can you imagine advertising an air
Advertising,
conditioned
air conditioning,
workshop?
absolutely. You
I
know,
know. Well,
nowadays, absolutely.
it was on for an hour and a half on Wednesday night, and then yesterday it was on for 4 hours. And I sort of made the most of that time, because you know what my workshop's like. It's a
Mm,
tin box. It's
mm,
a tin building. It's a tin box. It may be insulated, but it's a tin box.
mm.
And I just got on with. In fact, I've had a delivery. This is another patience thing, Jill. I haven't told you about this. I've had a patience thing happen over the last 2 weeks since I last spoke to you, as in being patient, not
Okay, not an inpatient, as in hospital or
not
doctors or
yes, being a
yeah.
patient person. And what it is was, I had been looking at these casters for one of my benches, a
Hmm.
very heavy bench, carving bench, and I just thought, I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to buy some casters. So I found some casters that take 320 kilos each, and I thought that's
Wow.
great for a bench. That's
Yeah.
great. Um, they were 9.99 on eBay, 9.99 each, 40 quid. I thought, well, there you go, just under
Mm.
£40. That'd be great. I then found another deal. Now I thought, yeah, I'm not ready to. Uh, I left it for a few days, and in that leaving it for a few days, the next time I was on eBay, they put this thing in front of me. It said four for 24.99, free postage, and I was like, there you go, there you go. Press the button. That's it. I'll have them. So for £25 instead of £40, I've got these casters, and I spent a fair bit of time doing caster stuff on Wednesday night, and I did finished it off last night. Um, in that period of time while there was a bench free and doing things, but
Mm.
the difference it made yesterday was I could focus on what I was doing when it's so hot in my workshop. You
You
can't think.
can't.
You
I
can't
mean, and
think
that's
straight.
where you have to weigh up the difference, isn't it? Between actually, am I losing, if it's say £10 a day or whatever, am I
Yeah,
losing that because I'm not so productive? Whereas if the aircon's on, you know, I can do that. I mean, for us, actually, aircon, we could think about having aircon and plugging it in if we needed it, because during the day, of course, we've got solar panels. So
which is
it
the
doesn't
perfect.
which
Yes,
doesn't cost us anything. So that's the perfect combination.
it is.
On really hot days, you've got solar panels, which drives the air conditioning. So
Yes,
therefore, the air conditioning wouldn't actually cost us
it
very
would
much.
just
I
be
mean,
the
I think my bill last month, and we've had even more sun, so I can't wait to see the next one. I think it was £18 for gas and electric, and I think that's mainly the standing charge.
yeah.
Obviously, we don't have the gas on. You know, the solar panels heat all the water. So I turn the water off you know, it goes off. The water heater goes off because that's on a separate thing. So that goes off at the beginning of April because then we have enough sun to heat our water. And then the electric gets sold back to the grid. So we have a very small bill usually through,
Yeah.
you know, well, what June, July, August, September usually is a much, much smaller bill. And sometimes they'll want to reduce my payment down to kind of £10. And I go, no, no, I want to keep it high because I don't suddenly then want to be walloped,
In the
you know,
winter
because
months.
they've got this automatic, haven't you, the algorithm that says, oh, you could reduce your payment too. No, 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 I'll keep mine high, thank you, because I know when the winter months come, then I'm paying the same through the winter, but we've got the heating. So
And you
yeah,
average it out. Yeah,
and we average it out, yeah, over the year, which I prefer to do.
yeah.
But yeah, lots of people suffering. You know, I know my sister, and we say to her, Jen, it might be expensive to buy the unit. I think they're about £400 or £500, the air conditioning ones you can put in a room and plug in. And I said, but remember, you're not actually paying for the electricity. Well, they are in effect via their monthly payment.
They're almost getting better value for money, aren't they?
That's right. And also,
Because
I mean, at least next week, I don't know about you, but I think it drops down again to looking at the app if it doesn't change again. It drops down to sort of 21, 22, 23 degrees. And,
yeah,
I think by the following weekend, so it'll be 20 degrees, something like that. Anyway, the British weather, you can't change it. And it's not just us, ultimately, is it? It's all over the
no.
place.
Well, my brother who's got an EV car, let's touch on the EV again. He's got an EV car. He's got a Polestar 2 thing. He's gone for a week in France on his own,
Oh
and
my
he went
God.
on Sunday, and he's doing all right. He's getting around places, but on he's moving around to wherever he's just what would you call it? Bit nomadic. He's free. He's just being free about it. He doesn't know
Yeah,
where he's
which is,
stopping from one night to the next.
you
So
could
he's
just find
looking
a
at the map.
B&B or an Airbnb or, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. He's doing
or
that,
a
and he's got
hotel.
his aircon and plug in and charge while he's doing all of that, and it looks like he's been to some interesting places. So that looks good, but doesn't stop you worrying. Doesn't stop you worrying because there was a thing on the news last night about the traffic. There was an
Yeah,
accident somewhere on a
you get
motorway, and
stuck.
this is the problem.
Yes.
This would be the problem. My issue with the EV would be if I've got a load of petrol in my car to get me from A to B, and I know I've got the petrol, and I can turn that off on a motorway in the hot weather and have the
Mm,
windows open or whatever. Are people more? Because I think people are getting almost lazy to the cars the way that they do everything for you, climate
mm,
control wise.
mm.
They get in, and I was in the car a couple of days ago, and I thought because somebody had said to me about, don't you use the aircon in your car? And I said, no. Well, why not? I said, well, there's no point really. And my silly head couldn't think of the main reason. And the main reason for me is it's a big car. And
Mm.
if I put it on, it just drinks the fuel. My
Yeah.
fuel efficiency comes from 54, 55 miles per the gallon to lower. And I couldn't
Yeah.
remember what it was. So on the way home, this is a couple of weeks ago, on the way home, I put the aircon on, didn't I? And it was 38. And I was just like, good grief, it's doing 38 miles. That's terrible. Switched it off, opened the windows and thought it's not worth it. But I think because we've got used to cars with climate control,
Hmm.
and if they're using more of the petrol, diesel, electricity, and then you're in something like that motorway,
Correct.
you've had it.
I mean, the M5, there's a real thing going on about the M5. I don't know what's happened, and people going, what is going on? Um, the M5, every single day, there is a problem on the M5, usually around the Taunton, Somerset area.
Yeah.
There's been a police incident. There's always, and that, you hear, oh, M5, another lane's closed. Oh, police incident. Anyway, but the M5, everybody's commenting. Don't know what's going on. And talking
Yeah.
of traffic, oh my goodness. We live in a village and there's a main kind of road, two main roads, crossroads that kind of come into the village. They're closed because Southwest Water are doing a whole load of work in the village. So they are completely closed. Well, of course, sat navs, we all know the back routes. Like I come home, if I go shopping like I did this morning, I know I turn off down this little lane and then this little lane and zip through here and I get onto our lane. Oh no. The signage between Southwest Water have to request highways to do the signage, and they put the signs way back at a roundabout. It's several miles, 2 or 3 miles from our village, saying road closed through Woodbury at blah, blah, blah. Does anybody take any notice with their sat navs? No, because obviously their sat nav will reroute them. We've had lorries trying to come down these little lanes, which are
Yeah.
single kind of lanes,
Yeah.
Jamie.
Yeah.
If two of you are going by, you squeeze through.
Yeah.
One poor woman's had a roof taken off because her house comes right down to the road, and she's had a whole corner of that taken by a lorry
Oh,
trying
good
to squeeze
grief.
through. Somebody else's, a few walls have disappeared where people have taken the walls. And
Yeah.
you think, we've got a coach, and you kind of think, what is the stagecoach trying to do going down this tiny little lane? There's no pavements, there's people who walk, it's by a school. It has been bonkers. And there was one this
Yeah.
morning. I went out, I go shopping very early, went out and just I saw the lorry coming towards me. I thought, I know it's going to have to turn in where I'm coming out. It's never going to make it. But of course, it attempted it. You could see it stop because the road was closed to the left of me, where I'm coming out. You could see him stop and look at his sat nav and then look at where I was coming out. And I thought, please don't think that you can go down there because your sat nav will take you down there. Then it'll
Yeah.
take you down an even narrower little lane. I knew exactly because that's the route
Yeah.
through the village. And you just think, oh, people don't think that's sat navs for you, isn't it?
And I think that's it's tech, isn't it?
Yes, we don't
It's tech.
think.
It
We
used to be
look at
common,
it. It used to be common
but
sense.
it used to be, yeah, it used to be common sense. And a lorry driver would look at it. I can't. Yeah.
And think there's no way I can get down there, but they've been trying. And then of course they have to reverse and then there's chaos and you just think, oh please, come on. Anyway, that's the joys of that.
You'll be pleased to know I've been really good with drinking and things, Jill.
Oh,
I've been
good. As
I've
in
been
water and
no, not as much water as people have
I
water.
mean not drinking as in alcohol.
No, not that one. Not this week. I'll give that a rest for this week. Um, no, I've been doing more ginger tea with
Yeah.
broccoli water.
Oh, ooh.
Oh no,
Yeah, ooh,
yes.
oh.
Look at your face.
Broccoli water
Honestly,
and tea.
honestly, you've got to try it. You've got to
No, I
try it.
don't, Jamie. I honestly don't have to try
You do
it.
smoothies. I've just seen
Yes,
you
I've got
drinking your green
my
smoothie.
green smoothies here. Yes,
Right. Which has
absolutely.
got green stuff in it, probably.
Spinach, homegrown
Spinach.
spinach. That's where I go out every morning and pick my
Nice.
perpetual spinach. And I've worked out, it's now because I buy organic if I'm buying the spinach. I think it's £2 something a pack. And we would normally go through at least 2 packs a week for our smoothies. Well, of course, as soon as my
Yeah.
perpetual spinach gets going in April, I don't have to buy that. So I think in my head, well, that's £4 a week I'm saving. That's £16 a month I'm saving just on my spinach without adding in. I think I've done over 12 kilos. I stopped weighing the strawberries once I got past 12 kilos. And our
Wow.
strawberries have now finished.
Yeah.
We're on to my first blueberries ever.
Oh, nice.
Picked our first blueberries. I came in from the supermarket this morning just before breakfast, and Clive said, I've just sat and we netted it. We saw two blackbirds yesterday, and they're right up close to our patio doors. The actual plants or the bushes in big pots, and they're very close to the patio door. So I think the birds don't ever come that close usually because of the cats. And then yesterday I saw two blackbirds, cheeky things, come up and nick some blueberries. So I thought, right. And Clive said, time to get the net out. So we just threw the net over it yesterday, thinking, well, that's fine. The net is over it. I came back from the supermarket this morning. I was in for about 10 to 8, something like that. And Clive said, I've just sat and watched a little cheeky blackbird come down, go under the netting because we hadn't pegged it or anything because it's on the patio. It went under the netting. He said, took a couple of blueberries and then flew off. I was like, what? So he said, I've gone and got some of our pebbles because, of course, we have pebbles everywhere in our garden because we're on a pebble bed. And he's weighted them down to see. Now let's see what these blackbirds do to try and nick the blueberries.
You
Unbelievable.
wouldn't think. I mean, blueberries are quite big.
Yeah.
Um, and like cherries, we've got the cherry tree up the garden. Now the ivy's gone. The
Yeah.
cherry tree, honestly, it's a haven for the birds. They're absolutely it is the queen of the garden now, that tree is. It's really enjoying it. The birds are running up and down the branches, and I was watching a blackbird yesterday morning when I was having breakfast out there, and it's amazing how wide they can get their mouths
Mm,
to open to get a. And I was just like, because you see this little beak, pointed beak, and you just
mm.
don't. And I saw this cherry go in. I was
Yeah.
like, blimey, look at him.
The whole
They're
one goes in.
and they've more or less stripped our tree.
Yeah, they've stripped
It's
ours.
it's
Ours have gone. I thought
it's
the other
gone.
day, oh, there's a nice little cherry. Went to pick it. Thought, look, turned it round. Thought, nope, somebody's had it on the other side. So,
But I've been doing nettles as well, Jill. So this is another thing I'm throwing in my broccoli tea that your face pulled. You had a face about my tea. Broccoli water, ginger, nettles for the antihistamine for the
Right. Yeah.
nettles, and turmeric, black pepper, and obviously 2 or 3 spoonfuls of honey.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say it isn't bearable. It's much better than bearable. It's enjoyable, especially when you get down to the pepper and you get that, wow, that's a
I-
bit hot.
I'll take
But
your word for it.
I think with all that liquid and all the good stuff in there, I think it's I'm doing all right.
Yeah,
Feel
absolutely.
pretty good about it
Good.
all. So because of that, I'm not drinking just glasses of water
Yeah.
with no electrolytes, I suppose you'd say, isn't it?
Yeah.
With no other goodies inside it.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. And that's where
yeah,
you
so it's
avoid
been good, really.
cramps, So we do have something called E-Light because Clive used to suffer very badly with cramp. And we found where we just put half a cap of this E-Light that we buy into a big glass of water and his cramps just completely disappeared. I mean, every day he would get cramp and he'd be
Yeah,
leaping out of bed in the middle of the night with cramp in his calf or doesn't get it now. And then another friend, what? So he's tried it and he's, oh God, this is amazing. Just literally
yeah.
half a cap. And then my sister, like half a cap. But yeah, and it's just making sure though, for me, nettles, as you know, had a bit of an effect on me because I was having too many fresh nettles.
You were,
So
weren't you?
yes, we're just making me go to the
One,
loo.
so there's one last thing we need to discuss, and I'll tell you what happened to me last night. I ended up at about 10 o'clock last night going outside with a bucket of water and a sponge because my car had been badly damaged by some birds. You know where we're going.
Oh, I know
So
exactly where
anyhow,
we're going with
so
this.
anyhow, I went out last night. I cleaned this bird poo off my car. The good thing about this weather is it's actually stopping the bird poo sticking to the car. It's coming off quicker, which I'm surprised about.
Yeah,
Anyhow, clean the car. Wife walks up the road, and she said, "There's a bird pooed on mine." So I ended up going down the road with a bucket because
getting it
her
off.
car's parked around the corner, and I went and got all the bird poo off her car. And I thought, look at me, 10 o'clock at night, cleaning blooming bird poo off. But you've got a bit of a bird poo story,
Yes,
haven't
we
you,
have.
Jill?
I've got a seagull story. Clive and I go on a Saturday morning to Budley Salterton and we go for a lovely walk all the way along the front to the best coffee place, which is a place called 50 Degrees North, which is kind of furthest from the town. So we go there, have fantastic coffee, walking back to the car, which is the other side of the town, because we make a good walk of it. And all of a sudden, it sounded like somebody had thrown a whole load of small pebbles at us. You know, that sound that goes splat. And Clive went, oh, what's that? And then looked at me and I looked at me and I was just like, I had a white t-shirt on. I had a cardigan, a thin, lovely turquoise blue cardigan on. Jamie, I don't know what this seagull had done and how it had managed it, but we both looked and then saw that was just one seagull. It got, I mean, like a hand size splat
It
on
was
my t-shirt.
huge.
It was huge.
I saw the pictures,
It
Jill,
was
and
huge.
anybody, if you want to see this disgusting pictures, you should look at Jill's disgusting pictures. I thought it actually looked like a washing line of clothes had been
Oh, it got everything.
vandalized, and it was just
Absolutely.
one bird
It
with
was
one
one
poo.
bird. Clive was on my left-hand side, so I think it must have come from left to right. All right, from it flown over left to right. It got me. It got the back of my trouser leg, all down my calf on my right leg. So I think my leg must have been going back as it was flying over, if you know what I mean. But even we're going, how did it do this? I had my shopping bag in the left hand side, which had my handbag in and our mugs, because we always take our reusable mugs. It got that. It got my sock. It got my
Did
trainer. It
did it get
got
you in your hair?
it got me on the side of my left-hand side of my hair, which had just
Oh,
been washed before we went out. It got my
oh,
baseball hat,
Jill,
my Red Bull baseball hat.
good job, good job. You got a cap on.
Oh, absolutely. It also got Clive. It got Clive down his right. He's got one of these khaki, cargo type trousers with a big pocket on. Well, it got all down there as well, and it splattered his t-shirt. So he had little splats. Jamie, what you were seeing is what we had tried after we had tried to clear it up with tissues. So we had
That's
tissue after tissue after tissue. It was a huge amount. And then we're both going, there's no way we're walking up through the town looking like this. So
Wow.
we walked up the back street and obviously then had to get in the car, drive home. When I took my t-shirt off, it was on my underwear as well. It stained my underwear as well. So anyway, yes. But good old Nancy Birtwistle,
Oh,
because people like, you're never going to get that out. I thought, right, wait for it. Managed to get all the stains out with no chemicals at all. None at all. So it was a soak. People go, oh, can I be bothered? Yes, actually, I can because I worry about, as you
yeah,
say, putting chemicals
yeah.
and stains, and I'm not just going to throw all the clothes out. So it got soaked in the bath because, as you saw, there was like a washing line full. Well, it was Clive's trousers, Clive's t-shirt, my trousers, t-shirt, cardigan. I managed to wash the baseball cap, my socks. I managed to wash it off my trainers because it got on the cotton bit all around the top of my trainers. Oh, this seagull had a really lovely time. And I thought, I'm going to buy a lot. It's meant to be lucky, isn't it? So they say.
Yes, yeah.
Superstition says. I said, with the amount of SHIT and put on me, I am buying, I'm going to go and get a lottery ticket. Well, actually, I didn't buy a lottery ticket, but I have bought some premium bonds. So watch this
Oh,
space.
well done.
I thought, I can go home, buy some premium bonds and see what happens. Anyway, that's my seagull story, and we'll be off to Budley tomorrow. And I think I'll be taking an umbrella just in case.
Yes,
It's been years since I've
yes.
been hit by a seagull. Right, that's
A
it,
long
Jamie.
time, a long time for me as well. A long time since I've been, I mean, I'm talking decades.
Yeah, same here. But I mean,
Ugh.
and it felt like we had decades worth had been saved up and
They're made up for it.
splattered. Thank goodness we were going home and not in the other direction. So I mean,
Yeah.
I've never seen well, yes, as you say, if anybody does go to my Instagram account, I have actually saved it in my highlights. So I think I put it as a story, but
Have you?
I've saved it in my highlights so people could see. Because then people have been asking, well, how did you do that without? I never thought you'd get all that out, Jill, knowing what, budget's like. I said, yeah, I did it. No chemicals, none at all. So I'm
That's
really,
good. That's
really
good.
happy with that. Anyway, Jamie, you stay cool. I think the weather, as you say, should be changing. And fingers crossed, third time lucky, we'll be able to have our guests come and join us on the next podcast. So thank you
Yes.
everybody for listening. I hope you've managed, if you are in the hot red areas, amber areas, I hope you've managed to stay cool and that the temperature will change. Of course, it'll drop and then it'll rocket again at some point in the future. We're just going to have to get used to it and do
Yeah.
what you can. Just keep drinking and stay cool. So you take care, and I'll speak to you in a couple of weeks, Jamie.
Thanks, Jill. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.